Just wanted to make sure.
Screening. Works. Okay.
Cool.
Sorry, y'all. Okay, where was I? Git, right? Yeah. So on the same project or the same code base, you have multiple people working on it, right? So one person's working on a feature number one, another person working on feature number two. So how do you all of you collaborate with each other so you have like an end result, like a final product? For that, we use something known as Git. It's a version controlling tool. So in Git, we follow this philosophy of creating by branches or like working with branches. So we have a master branch. This is a branch that contains like the master file or like the master of the code base. Like it contains like the prime code base. And if you need to work with or like add your own features to this code base, you need to create your own branch. So it's like separate from the actual master, like this one here. You create your own branch, make changes to it, you add commits, add new features to it, and then you merge it back to the master branch. So the master branch is updated with whatever changes that you made with it. So this way, multiple people can work on it simultaneously and still stay updated with everyone else's work. So you're not like, confusing code bases. You don't have to like email someone like this new JavaScript file I just added in, just make sure you're synced up. You don't have to do any of that. So that's the purpose of Git. So since all of you have Git installed, who doesn't have Git installed on your system? Okay, can you guys open your systems real quick and try installing it?
Is Git pre-installed with Github, right?
It does work with. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It has to be installed on the system. For everyone else, can you guys post your GitHub IDs in the Discord? I'll make a thread and post it in there.
Yeah, I guess now we can open the full.
Like our username?
Yeah. Your GitHub username.
We unlocked everything.
I mean, meanwhile, I can just go over the theory stuff. Like I said, you can work simultaneously with other people. So how are you gonna save your changes when you make changes to it in a different branch, right? So in Git, there are three main steps. The first step is to add all of your changes. So to do that, you do git add dot, which means add everything that you made changes to your staging area. The second part is committing all of your changes. So you're basically committing is like keeping a log of all the changes that were made from previously and what you did after with it, right? So it's like you're basically committing all of the changes that you made. And push is, I'll explain push later. Push is basically making sure you're saving all of your changes on a website, which is GitHub. You're basically changing it on a repository. That's basically it. So these are the three main commands that you need to know every time you're making a feature or making a slight change to anything. This is kind of like the workflow of Git. This is what it looks like. Let me make it bigger. You have like you have four spaces in this whole workflow. First space is your working directory, which is basically your laptop, right? In your folder. In your folder, you have nothing right now. So to get stuff from a repository, from GitHub or anything like that, you do git pull or git clone. You're basically like cloning whatever is there online to your local system. So you have it in your current working directory. And then let's say you made some changes to the working directory, like you changed a text file or created a new file, deleted a new file, everything counts, right? You made changes to it. Now you want to make sure those changes are permanent for everyone else. So to do that, you first stage all of your commits by doing git add, and then make it committed to your repo, which is basically your .git file using git commit. And then you basically do git push, which kind of like permanently seals it for everyone else. Like this is like the permanent changes. So, and how will others keep track of it? They just do git pull. If they do git pull after you pushed your changes, they're kind of like copying whatever you did. So it's like you're kind of looping back with their work. So the common misconception is like GitHub is not Git and Git is not GitHub. Git is a software and GitHub is a service or like a website where you can store Git repositories. It's like the Google Drive of Git repositories, and it's on the web. And Git is the actual software itself that does all the version control and all of the cool functionality stuff for you. So just make sure to keep those two things separately. Like for example, you can use Git and also another service called Bitbucket, which is essentially the same as GitHub, but GitHub is more popular and has more tools to work with. So like I said, there's a certain workflow when you're working with teams. So the way it starts off is you create a branch. If let's say your task is to create a new feature, and your feature has to do something to do with the front end. So the first thing you do is you clone the repo from GitHub. After you clone it, you create your own branch, and this branch has a specific name. You call it your feature name or your Jira ticket or whatever it is. You give that specific name, and you do whatever changes you want in that branch. You start make a branch, make your changes, and then commit your changes inside your branch. This is a common mistake. Do not commit your changes to master. That is a different branch. So every time you're committing changes, commit it to your branch itself. Make sure you're working in that branch. You're not making changes in master or someone else's branches. Okay. After you make changes to your branch, you can send a pull request. So a pull request is basically it's like a request for the owner or the repository owner to merge your branch with master branch. So that's basically what a pull request is. After you're done with all of your changes and you make sure it works on your end, that's when you send a pull request and someone reviews it and reviews it on the master branch, and it gets merged and you're done with your work. That's basically it. That's the essential workflow. It doesn't make that much sense in theory, but I'll make sure you guys send a PR today so you guys understand how it works.
What is the profit from that?
Profit, I don't know, you made a new feature, new subscriptions, profit. There you go.
There we go.
So I have a thing for you guys. Let me send the link over. Did everyone join the organization, by the way?
GitHub organization, and you should, yeah, just accept if you join it.
Is this visible?
In practice, I agree with Chandra. It's with a lot of like hearsay, like actually this. So are y'all familiar with looking at the command line and things like that? She's not familiar. Yeah, who's not familiar? Who's on Windows?
Okay, they don't have to worry because the commands are the same, right? So just everyone's in the organization, right? They have to be in the organization before they can do this stuff. No, whatever email your GitHub account uses.
There's someone.
Froggy is missing. You got it? Okay, perfect. Nice. Everyone's here. Or everyone from this session. Like 12 people in there.
Yeah. Oh, there are 12 people?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
It says 14 actually.
Oh, okay. Assuming someone from Discord comment. Because on Discord there's 11.
Huh, okay. Okay, I'll basically go step by step and explain how you do the workflow. The first thing, you click on the code part, the green button. Go to the repo, learn-git. I sent the link in the Discord. You guys can go there. Okay. Once you go to that link, click on code, and then copy this link. There's a copy button here. It copies the link for you. And once you're done with that, go to the terminal and type the command git clone and paste the URL that you just copied. Better, right? You don't have to navigate. It's fine. Yeah. Git clone and then paste it.
I'm still trying to think it well. So, okay.
You can go to the directory. Do cd learn or however you change directories in Windows. Why do you change directories in Windows?
CD.
CD.
You can use other. That's why it's a PowerShell for Windows doesn't have that.
No, not desktop. Just do cd learn get. There should be a new once you clone it, once you press enter after this command, there should be a new folder in there called learn get. So just change it to that directory.
So just to, I guess, to frame the picture better, so imagine that you are downloading a folder from Google Drive and you're doing it by camera. That's basically what this is. You just download that folder onto wherever you set it.
Next time, we might want to use VS Code because you can do it all from the UI.
No, but I want to teach them the commands.
You want
though.
to teach them?
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. Just
Windows, I know. Yeah.
no. I mean, not to do it. VS Code is not Windows specific.
No, it's easier for Windows people to get work. Not
Oh,
on
to get
CLI.
to get
Yeah.
get to work.
No, to do it through Windows rather than CLI. Right? Because on Mac it's
No, I mean
easy.
you do it through the VS Code because you can link your stuff in VS Code and it does everything for you.
Yeah, but they gotta learn the
Yeah,
commands.
they gotta look at the command sometimes.
I mean, even I do through VS Code itself, but you need to learn the commands, like what it does.
Mhm.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah. Just let me know when you guys are done with cloning it and going to the directory.
You were starting distro.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Good, right?
I have that.
Are you on the technology? Yeah, I guess normally the officers do like, it's not like their role and their escort name and then.
Yeah, so you're telling me.
Oh,
I was wondering what you wanted.
now you know.
Yeah, just making sure everyone has the same mindset. When you're downloading the problem, downloading right now, you can download. And then you can copy that URL to see that. Yeah, you can change. Yeah, you want to. Yes. Okay. So you should be able to see it. You can actually see it. Yeah. So that's yeah. You don't want to work with that. It's where it's
Oh, it doesn't matter because I'll see exact name, the exact. Going in CD is it goes one folder back. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Right, like, if you want to make it easier, you can actually just get like different and I'll have to look for you.
Yeah, so whenever you get cloned, the name of that folder that you're going to change or you're going to go into is the name of the problem. So in the URL, just like learn Git, learn that Git, you want to go into that folder.
Yeah. Okay, for everyone else that's done with cloning, I want you to create your own branch. And to create a branch, this is a command: get checkout -b. -b is a flag that's used to create a new branch. If you just do get checkout branch name, it checks out an existing branch. If you want to create a new one, you did get checkout -b. So you're creating a new branch. Create a new branch with your first name only. Yeah. Done with it, right? Okay. Once you created your own branch, and you should see that's automatically switched to it. Just open well, VS Code or whatever code editor that you use. Just open it in the same directory.
Okay. What editor do you know? You know how to put editor installed? Okay. So something that will help out. So that opens VS Code. That doc is your current
Right?
So that
Okay.
So you make your so now you want to do code. Oh, you have to do some I don't know what look up visuals.
Okay. Once you're done with once you open it in your code editor, I want you to write your full name and also the current show that you're watching right now.
I would explain the Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
Okay, Sandra, I think it's good to show them Git status. So they see your screen share.
They haven't made changes yet.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So Git. Sandra, what did you want us to do? I was like,
Yeah. Just make a new branch with your first name.
Yeah.
And then open in your whatever code editor you use, and then in the README file, add your name and current show that you're watching.
Okay, gotcha. Have my name?
Yeah.
They should just see like your thing.
Yeah. Just waiting for them to finish changes. Just let me know when you finish your changes. Raise your hand. Good, right? Okay. Yeah. What is that? Yeah. You're good. Just save it. Control us. Yeah. You close it. Okay. Perfect.
So this is not now you can see someone else's code change. And now you can just do it again yourself. So change your name.
Yeah, you have it installed. No, because they close it. So you got to click
So that opens code. Oh,
enter. It should like download the. Okay, open your code editor in this folder. So you can just edit the
yeah, basically, but just standard, just understand how to use it.
text editor is fine.
No. We don't have to get from it.
Well, actually, no. You get create a text editor. Just make sure you create your own brand. You want to do get check out -b with your first center. Nice. You're in create your brand. Now you open the text editor.
Gone. It's a move there. So we're good.
Work on the next one.
That's where it is. You want to know where that is.
What editors do you use? It close. I don't think you can open from terminal. Open it close and then click on folder. Yeah.
Yes, you want to basically just making sure that you're
Yeah, just write your name and which year you're watching, and then save the file, and then close the changes. Okay, once you make your changes in VS Code or whatever code editor, just save the file and then close it. That's all you need to do. And then go back to your terminal and type get status, this thing here. Type get status. That should essentially tell you everything that's been changed so far since you cloned it. So what did I do? I modified the README file. I made like small changes to it. So it should tell you like what files were added or what files were deleted, stuff like that. So that's what get status tells you. So, the first step to like making your changes permanent is to put it in staging stage. So I do get add dot. Okay, and then I do get status again. Now you can see my file has been staged. So it's ready to be committed, as in there's no errors with it or whatever. So once it's staged, I commit the thing. So just make sure everyone's on the same page. Just do get status first, then get add, and then do get status again, just to make sure everything is modified. I mean, everything is staged. You're good, right?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Get it? It should be done. Wait, go back to terminal. Users, Hudson. Search learn get. Open the other. Yeah, it's okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm just taking a Git commands, so you learn how it works. When you actually work with VS Code, there are just buttons over there, and it does it.
Oh.
Yeah.
What is Git status and Git add?
Git status lets you know what all the files are that were modified and if they're staged or not. So it gives you the status of your current changes. Git add stages all of your changes that you made to like it's called a staged area. It makes no sense, but it's basically ready all of those changes to be committed. That's basically it's like an intermediary phase.
Oh, like
Yeah, you want to not here. Over here.
I'm gonna be in photo too.
I want to capture everybody. Wide angle? Yes, has to be wide angle.
You and Chandra aren't gonna be in photo?
No, it's fine.
Alright, 1, 2, 3, go. Cool.
Photoshop.
Yeah. Okay, once you're done with staging your commits, I want you to commit your changes with a message. So the way you do that is get commit -m, and within quotes you put a comment or like a message what your commit was. So what did I do? I add name and current show. It can be whatever you want. It's just a sentence. Once you do that, just press enter, and your changes are committed. So you can do get status, and it says there's nothing to commit. So since everything I made is already committed. Yeah.
Oh, they got set up git config their username and whatever. Yeah, you want to follow that exact command. You want to do git config.
Oh wait, I'll pull it up.
That's global.
Yeah, just add your name and show you're watching.
So everything that says for the first time.
And then save the file, close it.
Yeah, so git config user domain. Is it the first time? Yeah. Okay.
Save it and let's close this. We have to
Yeah.
Do you hit add?
Probably on the
No, just space
Yeah.
add. Space dot.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
so
got
that's
that.
adding the key. Dot.
When you do
So
that,
you just have
I
to
got
hit commit. But it's that minus m commit.
No, I was on like
Oh,
yeah.
you went to
Yeah,
some
you wanna
like
get-
three clubs, like virtual.
Exactly. I used, well, I used to go to the meeting, but then I got busy with a lot of stuff.
I'm like, there's
It was just I had to perform my study before the meeting. I was not doing good.
Yeah, long. I have the command on. So basically, write this command. For those who cannot commit, the reason for that is your config is not set with your username and your email. So to fix that, just do git config hyphen global user.name, and within quotes, put your GitHub username. Mine is Chandra SD, so I put that in and I just enter it, but it's already there, so I'm not gonna do it. Do that for your username. I'll send a cheat sheet after this. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, good. Okay. Yeah.
I didn't know.
It's
Yeah, you're just your GitHub.
you.
And then the other one is that email. It's in the Discord.
Information.
Just copy it and put your GitHub email.
Yeah, you're
Give me anything you want, like in quotes, just like your commit message. Like, it basically tells others what you
people
did.
that like actually meet you in person. Oh yeah, like a bunch of the people that are like really active on these two discords. Like I'm real. Oftentimes I never know who they are. So sometimes I could be wandering around hallways or like you don't have me.
Yeah, you committed
I
your
never know that I'm actually talking to the
Nice.
same person.
Yeah, I see you at the season.
Yeah, so oftentimes people know me, but I don't really know people sometimes.
Just drag and drop it.
Yeah.
Oh.
You're talking to Pancake.
It's like there was this one virtual meeting. Like I never met this person before, but they recognized me when I was walking out of the public business building, and I had my mask on at that time too. Like from a distance, they were able to recognize me. I was like, what the? Like, I guess so. Well, like in my ear, like I'm vibing. So yeah.
Not for committing.
You would definitely benefit from this.
It's because like sometimes, well, normally to LinkedIn, sometimes you just see so many faces.
That's the only.
Okay, so you probably remember more people on there because you like interacted with them, right? Like I know like do a lot of LinkedIn stuff, so sometimes I just like sometimes I just like
Where do you
sometimes they
I draw the line especially when
more clear
when it doesn't have flavor. So my brother, right?
I'm like
Luke and he habanero peppers, he goes straight through the hot sauce. This is not spicy, this has some flavor. I'm just like, no. For me, if it doesn't have flavor to it, like I'm not gonna eat it. He bought these Koreans too. And I'm like, I saw it was like cheese. I'm like, oh cheese, it's gonna be good. And it was spicy. No.
How many of you are done with the commits?
Yeah, we're looking at done with the
I definitely want.
You guys are done, right? Okay. If you're done with the commits, you can push your branch onto GitHub by using the command git push. So the way it works is git push is the actual command to like push it. The first one, origin, Origin implies the Git URL. So it contains the Git URL. Chandra is a branch name. So let's say you want to push to master, you just do git push origin master. Don't do that. Do git push origin Chandra because you made your changes in your named branch. So do that.
Yeah, the name of your brain.
Name of your branch. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Permission to have to sign off with them. Are you the organization? Yes.
Oh, I know why.
Oh.
I have to add people.
There's a way. There's a method to the madness.
Is it a cheat sheet?
No, there's a way. We had to set it in the organization settings.
Oh yeah. Okay. I know what you're talking about. Repository defaults.
I want to be careful what you show.
Yeah, but to be fair, base permissions, right. Okay, now y'all should what? Maybe change. Yeah.
I just changed the permissions.
So now
Yeah.
we can see y'all's presence live. Yeah, you can see everybody. See all branches.
Sure. Here.
So
It's this one.
once y'all get used to it, y'all gonna just start like saying it.
Does it make you authenticate each time?
Hmm?
Does it make you authenticate each time you try to do it?
No. Why?
It's made me do it twice. So I try
You
to
want to
do
do
it.
this? Yeah, you want to
Maybe
sign
it's
in.
the silence outside.
It will make your life easier.
Perfect.
This is the
Oh,
one
no, I
you
guess
get
it
those.
does change anything.
It should have it saved. Maybe
Because
because
that's open up my browser.
Oh, maybe it's of the config. Did you use a git config that
Yes.
local thing? You did that right? With email and username?
I know, I think the email.
So I actually bought like so many.
Oh yeah, it has to be a student email. Or not your student, whatever email you use for GitHub. Yeah.
Because I was like, I don't know what to do. And I just brought this like, gotta help you out.
surprised I didn't go. You didn't ask for a special ticket.
Hmm?
The token thing.
Yeah.
A token.
There you go.
When I was using whenever I've done Git stuff, it's
Yeah.
always been a needed token because they stopped letting you.
Oh,
They
that's
asked
pretty
you-
two-factor authentication. Oh, look, you're gonna have it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't have to. You don't have to worry about it because it's
Okay, now the
working.
Mac user experience.
So you get what's origin. Yeah, origin.
Yeah, that's probably the data cybersecurity thing.
Or what are the branch names? Yeah. Okay.
Chandra, do you know how to do the personal token thing? I don't know.
See, I was just messaging.
Wait, you have to do that.
No, you for HTTPS for Mac, you don't have SSH set up. Okay, cool.
Wait, did you install it through HTTPS or?
Usually SSH. Okay.
Which side of the website? What's the website? You don't need it. What? You don't need it. Because I don't use it.
Oh,
Yeah, that's you only need it if you're installed. If you're cloning it by SSH, which you're not. I cloned it by HTTPS.
how does it just work for you then?
I just use the same username and same email
Same username, same email?
in your global configs. That's all you need. Because I don't have an SSH token. Like most of you don't have it. 'Cause I have not set it up on this.
That is so interesting. I've had to do it every time.
Oh, here. Click on this. That shows your.
I guess it's because it's a public repository.
Maybe. That shit. It tells you how many branches are there. It didn't update yet. It turned off.
Use a personal hacker. Oh man, okay.
No, it's just listed. Just refresh it.
So I guess we can show on screen how to do it. So this is what y'all are going to want to do.
You can view all.
So y'all will have to go here to your settings. and then you want to go to the very bottom, developer settings and personal access tokens, and then you want to generate. Is everyone following? Is this making sense so far? To
If it's not working for you, if it's working for you, don't worry about it.
if you're on Windows, it did work for you. But if you're a Mac,
No,
you did.
they're on Mac. It works for them.
What really?
Yeah, I don't have one.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Okay, so press generate token,
Uh,
and then
it's because it's not. We're not asking for authentication for Cosplay. In this sense.
yeah, just call this your local GitHub or whatever, and then you want to just check repo. Yeah, if I understand this right. So yeah, you just want to check repo, and then you want to press generate token, and then you want to copy this thing into your password. Yeah, into that password area.
I guess I'm a monkey. Yeah. Perfect. Oh. Yeah. You can see all the other and you can switch. Once you switch there, you can see what's that's fine. I put real name to this. It's supposed to be your real name. For this for yeah, for the brand. I mean it's fine, doesn't matter. If you know your name, just whatever it is, just put it there.
Bro, long. Expose my key.
Delete it? Question mark.
Just delete the key.
Not delete it? Delete it?
Yeah, I recommend you do that.
I'm surprised you.
You can be
Chandra, you never use a token?
Nope.
Every single time I've used GitHub, I've always used a token. These just do all the repos you work are public or
No, they're private.
If it's public, you don't need it. If it's by organization.
Oh, wait, hold up. I think I know why.
are you sure you don't have it like saved on
Because I had to set up a message, so.
that's up to date?
Is it?
Oh.
I don't think it is.
2.36.1, yeah.
Basically, GitHub requires you to give them
It says here in July 2020, we announced our intent to require the use of token-based authentication.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I mean, mine's the latest version. It still works. I don't have a token.
It's not actually.
I had to do it for work, but not for this. Yeah. Where was I? Right. Okay. So everyone pushed their branch, right? Okay. So the next part is to do a pull request. So just go to your repository. You should just get like a banner saying that you recently had pushed this branch or whatever. Just do compare and pull request. And then once you do that, you'll see this like draft messaging area. So you just write whatever comment you want, first PR or whatever, and give it a name. And it's you can add some more details to it. Like if you're working with Jira, I'll explain a little bit more on that. You have to put what the ticket is. So the ticket could look something like this. It's like an ID for other people to reference so they know what you're working on. And you can give additional details like how to run or whatever, something like that. It doesn't matter. Anyway, after you put all your information in there, just do create pull request. And you should see that your merging is blocked. That's because you need two other people to review your pull request before it can be actually merged. So I don't need to do that because I'm the administrator, so I'm just gonna skip that. Just for convenience sake, I'm just gonna create merge request, confirm merge. Never do this, by the way. Always have approval. Okay. Okay. Now I merged my code. I can go back to this, and I can see I removed S4. I just put Cobra Kai instead. So as you can see, finally I made a branch. I've made my own changes, and my feature is integrated to master. So everyone else has to go off of this part now. That's basically it. So just everyone else just make your own branches. You're gonna make your own pull request. You're gonna come up against an interesting problem. You're gonna come up against an interesting problem called a merge conflict, and this is probably gonna be the most common problem that you'll face working with Git. Everything that you've done so far is the easy part. This is the hard part. So, what is a merge conflict? So, basically, what it means is like, let's say two or more people are working on the same file during the same time. So, for example, person A makes changes to the file hello world, changes to hello cat, but the other person, Alice, they already copied the code from hello world and made their own changes called hello dog, but they've not merged it yet, whereas this other person has already merged it. So now you're trying to merge your current changes to someone else changes, and you notice that, well, they're not the same from what you initially took. So there's a merge conflict. So to do this, Git automatically figures out what the changes were, and it lets you know inside the code itself. So it tells you like, this is literally put inside your code, by the way. There are three parts in here. The first part is known as the head. The head is whatever you wrote, whatever code you wrote, and there's a content divider, and then after that is whatever the other person wrote. So you can pick and choose which code you want. Basically, you remove the three dividers, and you can just merge it again. It should be fine. Other than that, you can't merge it until you resolve the conflict. That's what it's known as. So since all of you edited the same file and the same line, so you're naturally gonna face a conflict, right? So let's go to first thing. See, it says there's a conflict here. So let's try resolving the conflict. So the first conflict, this is Tiffany's changes. Tiffany's changes were my name and her own name, and this was my changes. So Tiffany's changes seems more recent. So I'm just gonna remove my part and remove this part, the blocker, and then mark as resolved. And I'm gonna commit this merge. So basically, every time you make changes, you have to commit it. So you can just do it through GitHub. That's fine. Committed it to Tiffany. And then I shouldn't have any merge conflicts. So I can say I'll add my review, by the way. Review changes. Wait, approve. So I approved it. Can you approve it? I mean, I can force merge it, but I don't want to do it. I just want to show you how the approval process works. So two people just go over your code just to make sure everything that you did is right, and you didn't mess up another function while you're working on your own. So it's just to like maintain security stuff.
Who's your
Tiffany's.
So I will assign myself. Okay, trying to previous changes. Viewers.
You don't need to. You can just do show all reviewers and just approve it. Yeah. Yeah, just review changes and do approve, submit. Don't worry about the approval stuff. We'll handle it. You guys just make sure you do the PRs correctly. Oh, a pull request is for short for PR, in case you're wondering. Okay, so there's no conflicts now, and it's approved by two people. So I'm just gonna merge it. confirm merge. And let me go back to code and let me see main branch. You can see, yeah, it's changed. So I just basically have to review this for everyone because everyone has a merge conflict. Resolve, remove this, remove this, remove this. Mark is resolved.
Actually,
commit
any of us
change.
we can always set up our branch.
Yeah, anyone can resolve conflict. Please resolve conflicts. If you have conflicts, resolve it yourself. Here, open GitHub. You can try resolving it yourself.
Oh, it doesn't left off. Oh, Chanda, it's because we're admins, we're allowed to do that. Okay, so we would have to do it by command line. So basically,
Okay, I know. Okay, if you can't clear your own merge conflict, do this. Git pull origin main.
Is there a way for me?
so yeah, same idea.
I'm gonna head out.
Git pull origin main.
Because you need two people to
basically
review,
what
right?
happened is that
Yeah, you don't have to ask me. I'll just open it.
I know, but
But you can
it'll-
assign me if you want.
Oh, okay, there we
You
go.
can request me if you want, but I can just go ahead and review it. That's fine. Yeah.
I'll request you.
Yeah.
Cool.
See that?
Give me.
Yes, correct. Okay.
So now what they're doing is that
Now opening your text editor.
we're changing our.
Git pull. It's a merge conflict, right? Correct. Now opening your text editor. You should, when you do git pull origin main, basically what you're doing is you're pulling all the code from main and basically adding it to your branch. So obviously there's a merge conflict. So there's gonna be an error called merge conflict. So to resolve that, opening your text editor and just do what I did. Remove the 3 blockers and just commit it and then push it again and then do a pull request. Yeah. Oh, you can get, okay.
Merge conflict so it is but now the changes in kind of changes. So now there's you want to keep each people so sure. That's what he's all. Now that he this yeah, let's get it. You gotta every single time you change, this is a change. It's not okay, yeah, now you can change.
Yeah, just remove the 3 blockers and just commit it again and push it.
And then you're not sure.
Yeah. Okay, this is an extraordinary case of 15 people working at the same time. Usually, it's like at most two or 3 people working on the same thing at the same time. So just just push it quickly. I'll approve it. Yeah, this is just so you understand how to do merge conflict. I can manually do it here quickly. So just so you understand, you know how merge conflicts work. Remember, these three blockers or dividers are the most important thing. The head, where everything that you wrote goes, and after that is everything that was in the version of the GitHub.
Like how everybody was number 2.
Did you see the one that I requested you to, or no?
What is it called?
I think it's called Bad Name Current Show.
Number 7.
This one?
I don't know the other one, the second one.
Oh, no.
No, the third one. That one.
This is the third one. Oh, this one? Fourth one.
Yeah, that's one. Oh, it didn't pull you to the top of the. That's interesting. I thought it would pull you to the top of the issue.
I guess your question. So
Yeah.
every single time you gotta change Git repo, you have to Git add. Right? So what Git add does is that it's like saying, I'm tracking you. I know Git is keeping track of the changes in that file. That's what it needs to be. Area you want to get. But the idea is we press Git add is saying we've made a change, but we're not exactly 100% going to write it into the history of the project, right? And then when you press type git commit -m, then it's a commit. Right? Now this change exists in the history of the project, literally. And now I can say, go back. That's their knowledge. Everything was like change, let's get add, and after that, let's get.
Something a little weird.
Hmm? Oh, the markdown stuff? Yeah, it look a little funky for now. Look, I'll fix it in a bit.
No, like different versions of fencing.
Why? Is it the... What do you mean?
There's so many pull requests so often.
Oh, it was what we need. So when it's when it gives you the error of failed fetch request, you're like, how do you
Yep.
get full first? Make sure that you're in sync. Like imagine this, your version out of date with everyone else's. So you try to push your out of date version with the up to date version. It's like, what's going on? Right? So every single time you want to push something, pull.
Doubles.
Hmm?
I'm seeing some doubles. Double names.
Double names. I was because I was like, I was just quickly moving. I wasn't actually resolving the problem.
Yeah, you're fine.
My last one.
You guys can see I've resolved all of your pull requests. So
40 minutes.
That's a lot of minutes.
yeah.
That's a lot of
What?
So how comfortable are you feeling with it so far?
Last names.
Yeah, it takes some practice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Explain this better than they did in 1106 for sure.
They did get.
They tried to.
Oh my god.
The kit they do in 1106 is very basic.
The way it works is that
It's like
the class is like the folder is held.
Dang.
What did you want to do in that class? I didn't.
Get put on referred to this to the plagiarism or whatever.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you those, bro.
I know somebody who got flagged for 10 years ago. The code he got flagged for was what I was provided.
Oh my god. Wait, I know that too. I know that too.
Like for that, and it was like,
Chow got it too. Wait, are you in the same class?
oh no, I think that child like last fall.
Oh, it happened to Ethan.
It did happen.
Yeah, it happened to Ethan. Yeah.
Ethan was tripping.
He
out
just
about
took the
it.
L, bro. He just took the L. I don't know why.
He just accepted it.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Bro.
this
Yeah.
is last pull request. T2 second story.
Hmm?
T2 second story.
That is a test thing I did. Me and Mom did.
Oh.
Yeah. That's fine. You can ignore that one. Yeah. I think we only have like only a little bit more left. That's pretty much it. We done, right? Okay. Don't worry about it. I only improved it. I only resolved it. Oh, wait,
But then notice continue.
you have to do again before you go. Just like
So that's why we put this brain.
yeah.
It's a lot of
What?
only 3 years.
You know, I never sat in these kind of chairs before.
Really?
Yeah, this is my first time. Like when Hussein shared a photo of the room before I even showed up, I was like, well, we have those chairs?
Oh, it's because
Those are a
we already
thing.
have a
We can
VR
afford those?
for this brand.
They put these in all
So you need to wait for that to be introduced.
Very
So it's like
Ah,
protected.
There's the music thing.
So I mean, I've it.
They just got it.
But yeah, I've only made the changes, so don't worry about it.
And then
Well, then again, I guess it's all your business building.
Yeah,
We're
I've
getting
only
like a
made the changes, so
new,
you're good.
I guess, lobby area. We'll see about the chairs. We'll see what the chairs.
Definitely what we're trying.
I can. I'm gonna post a link on GitHub to help y'all learn more about
There we
Git.
go.
This is the link that taught me everything. So
Yeah.
same the same creators of Jira, of course they care about this stuff, but this is how I learned Git.
Yeah, so that was basically a command line way to use Git. The reason I made you guys do that is so that you understand the fundamentals of how it works behind the scenes. in an actual development environment, you don't necessarily have to write it in your command line. So if you use VS Code, for example, you can just use the VS Code source control tool. So you have the option to like pull, push, clone a repository, or commit just by like clicking buttons. Like if you made any changes, there are no changes, so it's an empty commit. So it gives me warnings and stuff like that. So yeah, let me pull. There's an error, so okay. Yeah, it gives you errors and all that stuff. So you can just use VS Code to do it instead of using command line. But if you're familiar with command line, try using command line. That's pretty much it for Git and GitHub. That's all you need to know for the workflow for it. The second part was documentation. This is pretty straightforward. Like Long already previously mentioned, documentation is very, very important because it's not just for you, but it's also for everyone else that's going to use the project after you. So you make your code or whatever you write in the project as accessible as possible. So one fundamental thing in all projects is that there's a README file. The README file basically consists of a basic description of what the project is, installation instructions, how to run the project on your own system, and a short example or tutorial on certain things, how it works. So let me just pull up a famous repository. Like here, this is a famous repository. It's by Airbnb. It's their JavaScript style guide. So, well, this one isn't exactly like software, so they don't have that. They just have documentation to show how their content is structured. So yeah, wait, this is not a good example. Let me this should be good.
Yeah.
Okay, this is good. This gives you a description of what the project is, where is it supported and stuff like that, what modules. You need a quick start. There's separate websites for it, but sometimes it's in the README file itself, so you should be fine with it. Like that's what the main function of a README file is.
It's very important. It tells people how to get started.
Yeah, it tells you how to get set up and how to use specific stuff in the project itself. The other type of documentation is documenting your own code. So for example, if you write functions, this is a Python example, but if you're doing JavaScript, same thing. For the function or something, make sure you write a comment about the function for what it does. Like, what is it supposed to do and what is it supposed to return? Like, if it's a function that's supposed to take strings and return like number or something, mention that. Mention it's like it's a function to do certain things. So since we're using JavaScript, we'll need to like, it's good that you mentioned the types. If you're using TypeScript, it's pretty easy to debug, but JavaScript does not like let you know instantly. All right. So it'll be easier for you to do that. So make sure to comment every bit of code that you write. Comments are way more important than the code that you write. Like even though the code is self-explanatory at times, it's better to comment it because it's understandable for people who are not familiar with the code base. That's the main first purpose of comments.
Yeah, and then another thing to add, we do intend to continue this project in the future. So it would be very nice and very considerate of y'all to provide very good detailed documentation for the next generation of project people.
We'll be mailing y'all very good coding data. Oh, great.
You'll be thanking us.
Better.
It's a good habit to get into early on.
You guys,
Yeah.
Really good put like if it's not documented, it might as well not exist.
Yeah, exactly. Like the first time I had a PR, my PR went like 20 comment thread before it actually got merged because they wanted me to like document everything and also write it the correct way, follow the style guide, everything. So I got rinsed on that. So documentation is extremely important.
And this is not just for like software development. This is for like a bunch of other, whether it be like engineering, like for a lot of that laboratory stuff, or like research in general. If you want people to actually give more credibility to your work, if they're able to replicate the steps you have taken to get to that same conclusion, that builds a lot of your credibility. So that's a little bit of a
I'll say, like, if you look at the software landscape, how do you know that documentation is very low? So you all know apps like Notion, stuff like that. So it's a knowledge-based wiki thing.
Yeah.
And they are very popular among software developers. Why? Because it makes it really easy to document, understand the like it just offers a lot of tools. A lot of companies pay to take their money. So it's seriously important. At my last company, let's just say like there wasn't enough documentation and those features, whatever you leaves, it might as well not exist. And there's no way anyone could. So there's a lot of danger in
Like-
seriously.
Like legitimately, documentation itself was like a multi-million-dollar ecosystem on its own. Like a lot of companies invest into it.
I forgot if you guys have already like mentioned this in the introduction session, but like companies are trying to take insider risk more seriously, and one of those is related to data loss prevention.
Yeah.
You guys probably already touched a little bit more on that in the team charter when we mentioned like confidentiality, things on security stuff. But part of that data loss prevention includes maintaining good documents. A very big rising thing.
Yep. The last part of this session is Agile. So how many of you have heard of Agile before or used it in work? Few people? Okay, perfect. Yeah. So Agile is like it's a software engineering philosophy. That's the best way to describe it. It's a software engineering philosophy that's used to like tackle tasks and break down problems and solve them in an efficient manner, basically. So the way Agile works, or it's like a workflow for software engineering or planning management stuff, is that every it's done in like periods, it's done in sprints. So each sprint that we're gonna do is 2 weeks long. And in a sprint, each person is assigned a certain number of tickets or pointed tickets. A ticket is basically it's a term for a to-do task. It's basically a task. So before doing the sprint, we have a sprint backlog, which consists of every single possible ticket that we have right now. And at the start of the week, Monday, we basically meet up for an hour or 30 minutes and we decide who wants to take what task. So we assign each person a certain ticket, right? And then throughout the week, we do like daily stand-up, or since everyone's not available every day, you can do like every 2 days or every 3 days. You can sync up directly with me. That's fine. Just give me updates like periodically that you're working on this, you're facing any problems. You reach out to any of us and we'll try helping you out. So that's the implementation part. And then the end of the second week, end of the sprint, basically, you do a review of how many tickets you have resolved or how many tasks you've finished. And you basically calculate like how successful the sprint was. Usually it's like 80% or 70% of the tickets are completed during the sprint that were allocated. The rest of the ones that are non-allocated get put back into the backlog, or they carry on to the next sprint with you if you don't finish it in time. So that's known as retrospective, or like that happens in the end of the second week, end of the sprint, basically. So it's basically like long explained. It's a glorified to-do list with a deadline every 2 weeks. That's basically it.
Just like a bunch of to-dos.
Can we go back to
Yeah.
So just to bring on a little bit more context of why Agile became a thing at all. Why did somebody actually come up with this? So you guys probably already are already familiar with the traditional waterfall method. For software development, that doesn't work out very well. There's always like new changes, new features people want to add, or maybe there's technologies that are just conflicting that your business has to like move on to another one. So many uncertainty, a lot of uncertainty. Agile really tries to embrace uncertainty, embrace change, and take a more customer or user kind of focus. But yeah, traditional waterfall method stuff works out for things that are more predictable, like construction kind of stuff, things that have a lot more history.
Mm-hmm.
Software developments, there's so many different things for every company. Even if it's in the same industry, there's so many special use cases that Agile just happens to work the most or for the best under. And that's why we're trying to show you guys this, because they don't really teach this in our classes.
We go a little bit in like in some object-oriented classes, but even for the software engineering one, it's not as like
Yeah.
You don't get to work with other people as seriously. So
Yeah. This.
we're gonna
Just to give you guys a little bit of context.
Yeah. This is literally used in every software engineering team in the whole industry. I will guarantee you that.
Yeah, there's not one team. If it looks different, everyone still uses Agile, it's just they're different versions. Right?
Because there's like more room for improvement. Basically, you can make changes immediately. You can pivot as soon as you need to. You know, basically every sprint.
Yeah, and then like every company also does Agile differently. Not everybody jump on the Agile train at the same time. So maybe you're joining a company that's really Agile focused. Or maybe you join another company that is barely getting started. It's good to keep in mind that everybody, everywhere, every company does it a little different.
Yeah. So for this project, we're going to use Jira. Jira is a pretty famous tool for Scrum or Agile development process. Basically, almost all companies that I know usually use Jira or a different one, but Jira is definitely the most popular one. So the way Jira works is we create stories. Stories are basically tasks, like I said, they're to-do lists. And each story has a certain number of points assigned to it. All the points are in Fibonacci series numbers. So a point can be 1 point, 3 points, or 7 points. 1 point means it takes you like a day or less. 3 points means 3 days or less. 7 points means it'll take you 7 days or less to do it. That's basically what it's assigned for. And at the end of the sprint, we go over the progress and plan for the next sprint. That's basically how it works, like how much we finished or not. Okay, let me okay, let me invite you to yeah, okay, let me make a new thread. Student emails thread here. Yeah, just enter your student emails, your mavs.uta.edu email in the thread.
Is there a personal email?
No, it has to be your student email, your mavs.uta.edu email.
Yeah, thankfully, we got the university to fund this for you guys. We really wanted to use Jira for you guys, since that's very much an industry thing.
Yeah.
So like, really give you guys more of a feel for what's kind of out there already.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's nice.
Must be you can see how many events with us with the university. So everyone else is already using Jira, so they know us.
A little bit, yeah. Well, he's got me.
Yeah, it's domain locked, so that's why I needed your student IDs. Oh, okay. I think you can, but yeah.
I think you can just add them by email.
Can you?
Yeah, just like copy the whole.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's invite the first 10 people, and then we can try to invite other people. You know, let me do that.
Thankfully, also because we're doing this through the university gives us 75%.
Yeah.
They have to negotiate.
But I think if I remember right, it was like 750 per
We're doing
user per
tests.
month. That's right.
John, are we working on tests?
Oh,
Huh?
7
Test 2.
like $7
Yeah.
and 50 cents a month per user. So after a few months with like 24 people, that's the rest of it. Yeah.
Okay.
This is how companies make their money. It's always the enterprise person. They say the best Humor.
My story.
Oh, I have to add everyone again. Pretty sure I don't. To test 2, yeah.
Was it because we connected? Did you connect Microsoft Teams to this?
No.
No, it's because our domain is recognized. We use it to yeah, they don't. Yeah, you'll basically have to make an account.
Wait a second.
So they give you a password, remember?
Yeah, Xavier. This is exactly Xavier Monroe.
I already invited him.
You see the
This thing?
info?
I don't think I can see it.
It wasn't an Gmail. It wasn't at Gmail.
Was it not?
I mean, just add that person you were just adding a second ago.
This one? It is. I sent them a Gmail invite.
But look, wait. Whoever you added is not at a Gmail. But you typed in that MS. So type it again.
Test 1 and test 2.
This one?
Xavier's,
This one?
Yeah, that's fine. Are you sure?
Yeah.
We type out.
Just click on it.
Yeah, it's they already made an account, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I saw this. I said apps.
Oh, that's just auto fill. Like if whatever you fill, it just fills it in for you. The second option. Yeah. Sure. Wait, where's it at? Where's your email? Your student email, by the way.
Oh, that's because you're looking at. So, I guess wow.
Yeah, I'll send an invite.
Yeah. Click on test kit for now. I'll make a. We'll have a more serious project name. So right now it's just test kit. But we'll have a more official one down the line. This is just for the opinion. Yeah. Well, it's maybe a different project for the actual. There are only two. Everything is, you don't have to worry about anything here except for each work. Backlog and board. Backlog that has every single ticket that's always there. And that's what is your that's the one. Like inside.
you get access to it? Oh, what? Oh, forget. Okay, did you get Jira access?
How many temples are internal secret names?
Try sending the Discord. Try sending your email.
I did.
You did?
Yeah.
I sent you an invite then. It should be in your student email. Your
Oh,
Outlook.
student.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
And I'm also
Yeah.
yes, I can do that. No.
Yeah.
Jira's working out incredibly fine.
I'm scared to do it. I'm scared to do it.
Yes, very small.
Because if you don't talk into log. Yeah.
Let me know when you get it working.
So the idea is, I guess, like, what you'll find is that I think in some processes you'll probably well, the reality is that every task that being added in backlog is actually very.
So you do use getting stuff for your December.
Yeah.
And like,
Really?
that's like we do, but that.
Are we allowed to add it in wallet or that one Don't worry, I'll add it myself. The only thing I have to worry about is your board. To see what task you're assigned to do and then move it accordingly in progress. You can focus your job. Move it accordingly whenever you're done. So let other people on. Don't do anything now. Good access, right?
Okay.
Oh. Make sure that everything's on.
Okay. This is the last task. Basically, so okay, in this page, there are a lot of options here. There are only 2 pages that are important in this. Okay. First one is a backlog page, and the next one is a board page. It should be on the left-hand side. You should see the options. So the backlog consists of every single ticket that's available in the backlog. And it shows you what's the current sprint right now and what tasks are in the sprint and what is in progress, who's assigned what, and stuff like that. The board basically shows what's happening in the current sprint. There are 4 statuses. First status is to do, as in you have not touched it yet. Second one is in progress, as in you've started working on it and you're currently doing it. Third one is code review. So code review is basically you've completed everything and you've sent a pull request and you're just waiting for me and Long or Hussein or Maria to approve the pull request. That's called the code review stage. Once we approve it, we'll put it in done, which basically finishes the whole story. So that's basically it. That's the workflow essentially. So don't worry about the tickets. We'll make the tickets for you guys and we'll assign you which tickets. And you guys, I mean, you guys can pick which ones you prefer to work on and stuff like that. All you have to do is like work with the board itself, like just update your progress on here. Yeah, and just so you're familiar with it, you can just try creating one if you want. Go to Sprint here, click on Create Issue, give it a name, whatever, give your name and say Jira introduction or whatever. So I can make it Chandra Jira.
The power of any of the software.
Yeah.
Ultimately.
And then once you create it, click on your story, and then assign it to yourself. And also give it a point. Give it 3 points. Or no, actually give it 1 point because it's. Give it 1 point. Yeah, and then save it. Just make sure everyone does it. Assign it to yourself and 3 points. Or 1 point, whatever you want. Just keep it in Fibonacci numbers. Should be create an issue.
But I think
Yeah, just click it. Yeah, here is time. Assign yourself and point estimate. There is 1 point or whatever. If you need it.
Easy to point.
Yeah. I can just close it. Auto saves. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what that's. We don't talk about something.
What? Yeah, sure. Here, you just click it here. Your story. Scroll down. You can see assignee. You can click on it and add your own name or whatever it is. And then story point estimate. Click on it and then write a number 1 and then approve it. It should auto save and you can just close it. Yeah. So now if you go to the, so that was in the current sprint. That was not on the backlog. The backlog is down here. You can, by the way, you can drag and drop tickets. So you can do that. If you're not comfortable with doing it in sprint, just drop it back into the backlog so you can do it next time, right? So now if you go to the board, you can see all of these stories in the to-do list. So where was mine? I'm done with it. So I'm gonna skip all of it. Wait, where'd you go? I'm gonna skip all of this and just gonna say done. You guys are done as well, so just move it to done. Yeah. Once you guys are done with that, I'll complete the sprint just to show you what it looks like.
Also, each of these stories can be linked to where you can link each story to GitHub, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like Jira and GitHub are very interlinked.
Yeah, I'm gonna complete the sprint right now. Yeah. So all of the previous tickets that were not in done, that were still in progress or in to do, they get pushed onto the next sprint automatically. And this is the backlog. That's pretty much it. That's basically how it works. And about Git, like Long mentioned, Git integration. So the way you could do it is in your pull request, like I mentioned earlier, you can mention the ticket itself and stuff like that. But a better way to do it is have the branch name as the ticket name. So to do that, Jira has a very simple plugin or like a installation way to do it. So there's an option here called create branch. You click on it, you copy this code, go back to your terminal or VS Code or where you're gonna create a branch. You can just paste it, enter, and you should automatically it should automatically have created a branch with your ticket ID, or you can with your ticket ID and the name of the ticket itself. So this way it's more efficient. We know exactly what branch is for what purposes. That's basically it. That's all there is to Jira. It's very simple.
Like I don't completely like.
Yeah.
Jira has no power. Power is completely.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why. They may have like added less has it. Make sure that all the information. That's part of the Agile process, more than just like here's the
Yep, exactly. And if there's for tickets, by the way, I didn't show you exactly how it works. You don't just name it and leave it. You're supposed to add a description to it, like what it is, what the purpose is, what it's supposed to do in here. You can have a mini checklist in here, another to-do list or whatever. Basically, make it as descriptive as possible. What you're trying to do, what are the changes, and what is it going to affect, stuff like that. And you can add an attachment to it, like a flowchart or whatever. To basically connect your story. So it's like an email. It's like a long email that you can refer back to constantly. And sometimes you can connect stories with other stories. So, for example, let's say I'm working on the working on the comment section again. I'm working on the front end of the comment section, and Long is working on the back end to like store all the comments and stuff like that. I can't do the front end until I have access to the back end. Like there's an infrastructure to hold that stuff, right? So my ticket would be like dependent on his stuff. So I can't do that until his stuff. So his would be given higher priority. So you can just connect it using like a child issue. You create a new issue where it's dependent on. That's basically it. But don't worry about this. We'll create all the tickets for you. You just have to like make sure you name your branches correctly so we know what you're working on is the right stuff. That's it. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for Jira and Agile stuff. That's basically literally everything that you'll do in software engineering in your internship. Jira, GitHub, and documentation. Those are the three most like fundamental productivity part of the stuff. So next week, after Long does his tutorial on JavaScript and React Native, the following week, Monday, I'll create all the tickets for you guys. You guys can pick what you guys want to work on to start off with, and you can get the sprint started after next week, after Long's workshop. So yeah, that's basically it.
Question.
Yeah, questions.